Welcome students. I am Dr.R.Anuradha, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of History, Shisharda College for Women, Salem. In this video, I am going to teach about the art and architecture of the Pallavas. There are three major styles of temple architecture: Nahara, Dravida, and Vesara. The Nahara style is associated with the land between the Himalayas and Vindhyas. Dravida style with the land between the Krishna and Kaveri rivers. The Vesta style is sometimes associated with the area between the Vindhyas and the Krishna river. The Pallava dynasty was divided into early Pallavas and later Pallavas. The art and architecture of the Pallavas form a very brilliant chapter in the history of South India. Their productions provided the foundations of the Dravidian style. The Pallava kings were the great patrons of art and architecture. The art of the Pallava may be studied under 6 headings: architecture, sculpture, painting, music, dance, and drama. The Pallava dynasty existed between the 3rd and 9th century AD. The ruling portions of today's Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Kanjipuram was the capital of the Pallavas from 4th to 9th century AD. The Pallava architecture shows the transition from the rock-cut temples to the stone-built temples. The lasting monolithic temples known as rathas and mandabas provide superb skill of sculptors of the Pallava period. The monolithic temples gave way to structural temples like the Shore Temple in Mahabalipuram. Pallava period is an age when architecture showed its grandeur and beauty. The period is also known as the age of poetry in stone. The magnificent temple of Kailasanatha, which is carved out in stone, bears the testimony of the period. The monolithic 7 pagodas or rathas, named after Pandavas, are architectural wonders through sea erosion has taken its toll. Dravidian type. Mahendravarman introduced a revolutionary change by Dravidian architecture. He carved out temples from the living rocks. Mahendravarman say in his Mandahapattu rock-cut cave inscriptions that he constructed the temples without using perishable materials like bricks, timber, metal, or mortar. So these are the divisions of architecture during the Pallava period. The architecture of the Pallava period may broadly be divided into 3 divisions: rock-cut caves, monolithic rathas, structural temples. The rock-cut cave temples were further divided into Mahendravarman type and Narasimhavarman type. The structural temples further divided into Rajasimha type and Nandivarman type. Now first we can see the rock-cut cave temples. The Mahendravarman type. Its first phase, entirely rock-cut, comprises moderate-sized pillared halls with 1 or more cells cut into the back walls. The front facade has a row of pillars and pilasters. The pillars are square at the base and top with octagonal middle section. In these temples, Dwarapalakas occupied an important position. The next one is Narasimhavarman group. The cave carved out by Narasimhavarman are found at Mamallapuram. These caves vary in dimensions. The cells are rectangular. The pillars are the main feature of the facade. Monolithic rathas. The monolithic rathas is the same style as the mandabas, are clearly copies of wooden structures. There are 10 Rathas. Among the 8 found at Mamalai, the most famous 5 are called Panchapandava Rathas. The other 3 are Ganesha Ratha, Pidari and Valayakuttai. Arjuna Ratha and Draupadi Ratha are on the same platform. The Draupadi Ratha is square and pyramidal. The roof appears to be hut-shaped and plain. The image of Draupadi is on the back wall of the sanctum. You can see in the picture, lion and elephant can be seen at the bottom of the entire shrine on their back. The Bhima Ratha has a rectangular vimana with a sanctum in the center and a circumambulatory path. The Dharmaraja Ratha is a 3-storied vimana with a Garbhagraha in each story. It is a best example of a Chaitya. The Sahadeva Ratha is an apsidal temple. The Pidari Ratha has an octagonal sigara and the Ganesha Ratha has a rectangular vimana with an Ardha Mandapa in the front. Next, we are going to see the structural temples. The structural temples were constructed with the help of the dressed stone masonry. Again, this group falls into 2 divisions, the Rajasimha group and the Nandivarman group. Rajasimha group. The main feature of the Rajasimha group are multi-storied vimana appears to be in descending order like a chariot. On each end, figures of Kalasa and lion are found. Niches are found with a similar type of linga found in the sanctum. Figures of lion are found both on the outer and inner walls of the temple. They are standing on their hind legs with fierce look. They were made out of mortar. The figures of Somaskanda is found almost in all the temples. With the above mentioned features, the following temples are found. The Seashore Temple, Mugundesha Narayana Temple, Shiva Temple at Mamalai, Talakirishwara Temple at Panaimalai, Kailasana Temple at Kanchi, and Vaikunta Perumal Temple at Kanchi. This is a picture of this Seashore Temple at Mahabalipuram. This is the earliest of the structural temple found at Mamalai. The Vimana evolves a higher and more rhythmic tower. The 3-storied Vimana had a Kalasa. The backside of the temple's sanctum contains Anantasayana Vishnu. The majestic shore temple, known locally as Alavai Kovil, sits beside the sea in the small town of Mahabalipuram. The complex of 3 separated shrines was constructed under the patronage of the Pallava king, Narasimhavarman's second Rajasimha, who ascended the throne in 700 AD and ruled about 20 years. The shore temple in both a rock cut and freestanding structural temple, the entire temple stands on a naturally occurring granite boulder. The foundations of the temple is laid on the granite stone, while the superstructure is carved out of sandstone. The Pradakshanam path around the sanctum is made in such a manner that it requires visitors to climb up and down a flight of stairs and to crawl through narrow way. The complex consists of 3 separate shrines, 2 dedicated to the god Shiva and 1 to Vishnu. Shore temple is in fact a temple complex comprising of multiple temples. This complex is dominated by two rising towers corresponding to two different temples dedicated to Shiva. These two temples are set up back to back, one facing east and the other facing west. In between these two temples, sandwiched, is a temple dedicated to the sleeping form of Vishnu. The temple is inside an enclosure prahara wall which surrounds it through north, east, and south, leaving it open on the west. The open west side allows entrance to the Vishnu shrine. The temple is built on a square plan and has a four-story tower. The tower of the temple is lean and elongated by avoiding the regular row of mini shrines. The mini shrine arrangement is missing on the first and the fourth story. Instead of it, the first story has sergeant lines at the corners, while the fourth story has human figures at the corners. There is a socket for linga in front of the panel. However, linga is missing at present. There were two mandabas in the front, one small and other large superstructure, but both have not survived. The Garbhagriha is guarded by Dwarapals. A Somaskanta panel is carved out in its back wall. A tall 16-faceted linga, broken at the top, is installed in front of this panel. The temple facing the west has shorter tower consisting of three stories. It is referred as Rajasimha Pallava Ishwara Graham in inscriptions. However, it also follows the pattern of the taller tower, thus achieves similar style and elevation. The outer walls of the mandapa also has sculptures. Northern side is better preserved. On the north wall, there is an image of Shiva as Tirupurandaka and Durga as Mahishasura Mardini. Kailasanath temple. The most important of the group of Pallava structures is the Kailasanath temple, which is one of the most remarkable architectural monuments. Inside the sanctum, a huge linga is found. Kailasanath temple at Kanchipuram is one of the cultural assets of India. It is located in Pillayar Palayam, 2 kilometers away from Kanchipuram city. The temple is built by Rajasimha Pallava. His son Mahendravarman III completed the construction later. It is the architectural icon of the Pallava dynasty. The temple is built in the tradition of Smartha worship of Shiva, Vishnu, Devi, Surya, Ganesha, Kartikeya, which has replaced Buddhism. The Kailasanath temple draws some influence from other styles developed by Chola dynasty and Vijayanagara emperors and also Pallava architecture in its original style. The entire temple is made of stone, but it is not like the rock-cut architecture built into hollowed caves or carved into rock-cut crops like Mahabalipuram. The temple has Garbhagriha, Antarala, Mandapa, high compound wall, entrance gate, Gopuram, making it complete in all aspects. The mandapa was made by interposing at the mandapa. Mythical line mounts surrounding the pillars, which adds to the Pallava style. The layout of the Kailasanath temple is simple, with a tower at the center and with the Vimana above the main shrine, square in plan, and rising up in pyramidal shape. At the top is a small roof in the shape of a dome. The Gopuram walls and the entrance are plastered with 8 small shrines and a Gopura. The Ardha Mandapa joins the Mandapa and sanctuary, acting as an intermediate hall. The temple within walls is, however, rectangular. The main door through the Gopuram asymmetrically stands between these cave shrines, 2 on one side and 6 on other. The round pillars with bottom carved in the shape of mythical animal lions or the signature stamp of Pallava dynasty. The walls facing the meditation caves are sculpted and painted, mostly Shiva Parvati sculptures with occasional Ganesha sculpt meditation caves and shrines. A pillared mandapa stands in front of the main temple. Inside the sanctum, the temple is rather simpler. There is a 16-faced Shivalinga in black granite. Behind the Shivalinga is an image of Somaskanta, that is Shiva, Uma, with Skanta or Kartik. The main Nandi Mandapa is about 100 meters away across the sprawling lawns from the temple. The Nandis is mid-sized and facing the sanctum. This temple has a pyramidal sikara with sculpted figures on each side. It looks like the stone plates are delicately balanced on each other while holding the stories. On the top is a spherical dome-like finish and the Nandis sit in all 4 directions on the layer just below the top. 8 shrines or meditation caves are in front of the Kailasanath temple. A tank is located diagonally across the temple at the other end of the lawns. You can see in this picture, end of the lawns. This is the landscape view of Kailasanatha Shiva temple at Kanchipuram. And the second picture is the picture of the outer wall of the Kailasanatha temple. Next, we are going to see the Vaikuntha Perumal temple. The Vaikuntha Perumal temple, otherwise known as Parameshwara Vinnaharam, was constructed by Nandivarman II. Each of the 3-storied Vimana contain a Garbhagraha with standing and sleeping sculptures of Vishnu. Next, we are going to see the Nandivarman group. The originality of the Pallava architecture was slowly vanishing. The lingas, dwarapal, pillars, etc. are different from the earlier group. It is very difficult to identify this group with its early Chola temples. The following are the examples. Mukteshwara temple, Mandageshwara temple, Tirupurandakeshwara temple. These temples are at Kanchi. Airavadishwara temple, also in Kanchi. Perumal temple at Kuram. Veerataneshwara temple at Tirutani. Vadamalleshwara temple at Varagadam. Parameshwara temple at Gudimallam. Madangeshwara temple. The plan is simply small shrine with massive walls. A black stone linga is found over the linga. The porch has 4 tiers of Pallava type, each with a lion base. Veerataneshwara temple at Tirutani is an upside-down temple at Sahadeva Radhas. Shiva, Ganesha, Vishnu and Brahma are found here. This temple was constructed during the rule of Aparajita. Perumal temple at Kuram was constructed by Parameshwara Varman. Sculptures. Beautiful sculptures are found in the temples above noticed. The early Mahendravarman sculpture are tall. The figures have thick lips because of nature of the stone. Monolithic animals like bull, lion, elephant, and the monkey family are at Mamalai. The battle scene of Mahishasuramardini and Anantasena Vishnu and the panel depicting Arjuna's penance are remarkable. Painting. Traces of painting in the rock-cut temples, pillars, and the structural temples provide ample evidence of the art of painting of the Pallava age. Painting too was made a handmaid of religion. Mahendravarman's taste for painting is depicted through his title Chitrakarapuli. He was the author of a treatise on painting. It is also proved by Dakshina Chitra, an inscription found at Mamandu. Trace of painting on the roof of Kudumiyan Malai, on the wall of Kailasana temple, and Adivaraha cave and Mamandur cave, etc. are found. Music. Music played an important role in the spread of Bhakti movement and it received royal patronage too. The devotional songs of Alvars and Nayanmars are sung with music. Singing of Devaram was practiced in the temples. Sri Vadya Vidyadhar, Sangirana Jadi, etc. are the titles of Mahendravarman. Barring Thirumayam musical inscriptions, the Kudumiyan Malai musical inscriptions is the only available musical inscriptions in India. The inscriptions was inscribed by Mahendravarman first. Yal, Kulal, Veena, Takkai, Muravam, Udukkai, etc. are the name of the musical instruments found in Devaram hymns. Dancing. Dance was patronized by the Pallava rulers. Rajasimha's twin Rangapataka was an expert dancer. The women dedicated to dancing were called Isapathaliyar, Devaradiyal, Talicheri Pendugal, and Kuttis. The dancing girls received salary from the temple. The various poses of the Nadaraja at Kailasnatha temple speak their taste over dance. The sculptures of Pallava period represented Shiva in various dancing poses. Mukteshwara temple itself had 24 dancing girls. Drama. The twin art, dance and drama were famous in the Pallava period. Mahendravarman first wrote plays like Matta Vilasa Prahasanam and Bhagavata Jukiyam. Manika Vasagar in his Perungadai says the following words: Nadagathal Munnadiyar Pol Nadithu. Dancing groups also entertain the king in the court. A panel in the Vaikunta Perumal temple depicts this. So, as a conclusion, Pallavas rendered a wonderful contribution to the art and architecture of South India. Thank you.